Morning, guys. I just dropped off Xavier at school. I'm about to unload the dishwasher and turn on the prayer line. Um, our home church back in Florida, the pastor there, his name is Jomo Cousins. He's awesome. His wife is my cousin Charmaine, and he does. He has a prayer line that he does every day. He just put it on Facebook. So every morning at 6:30, he's up praying, and so I listen to that in the morning. It's a good way to start the day.
Oh God, this happened when Sarah was barren, and the prophet came and said, "You have a baby," and she said to herself, "How can I have a baby at 90 years old?" And the Bible says, "Is there anything too hard for God?" Listen, brothers and sisters, you may be looking at a dead end situation. Well, guess what? God specializes in dead end situations. Guess what, family? You will realize that when you are at rock bottom, that He is the rock at your bottom. Guess what, family? When you are at the end of your rope, you are at the beginning of Him. When you are done with you, you are at the beginning of Him. Get this one, family. Less of Him and more of Him. Guess what? He is.
Having a little snack. Some yogurt. Kai baby just woke up. And I just realized that David Johnson has the car seat for the second day in a row. He had to come home early yesterday because I didn't have a car seat to take Kai to daycare. And same story today. So anyway, it is what it is. Yes? Is that yummy? Kai has started taking some steps, so that's really, really exciting. We've been waiting for him to walk, and he's finally starting to take some steps and get some guts. You getting some guts? And so, here you go. And so that's really exciting. So we keep trying to challenge him there. And what else? Yeah, a lot of stuff going on right now. We're freaked out. Both David and I are freaked out about putting an offer in on this house, and it needs so much work. And it's so much property. It's such a big house that we're terrified. And I can tell it's kind of weighing on both of us. I'm having to stay in prayer about it all day long, or else it overwhelms me. And I can tell David is struggling with the same thing. But it's just like when we moved to Georgia. It may be even a little bit worse than when we first moved to Georgia. And we had nothing. Actually, I think that was worse because we didn't have anything. We were trying to figure out how we were going to make it. And we just took a leap of faith, that this was going to work. Moving here was going to work. And God has blessed us so much since we took that leap of faith. And, this is just another leap. But God takes you from faith to faith. And you can't expect your next faith test to be as small as the one before it. Because that's not growth. I did that before. That's not growth, And so this is huge. We've never taken on something so involved that requires so much work. But it's like we know that this is gonna work. And it was just kind of like, well, not necessarily. We have faith. I have an inner belief and just faith that this is going to be the most amazing thing ever. I feel like God is gonna use this to be such an amazing testimony. It's not even funny. And so that gives me joy and a little more excitement rather than anxiety. Is that I know that God is in the center of it. That's what got me through the move. I knew that God was in the center of it, even though I didn't know how we were going to make it, how we were going to get through. Like, I had no clue. But you felt and you knew that God was in the center of it, and that was going to make it okay. Somehow, I don't know how, but you know he's going to work, you know he's going to move. And that's kind of how I'm having that feeling, but at the same time, I'm having like this anxiety because it's such a big thing and there's so much work that needs to be done. But I was telling David, you know, we can't look at it as this big, huge, massive project that we have no idea how we're going to complete or how we're going to take it on. We got to take it one day at a time, a piece at a time, and God, who provides, will provide everything that we need in order to get us where we need to be, in order to get us to where we need to be. We just have to trust him. It's not, you know, it's easy for someone to say, trust God, trust God, trust God, you know, and we've been there before. Trust God, and it don't look good. You know, it looks strange. It looks like, I don't know about this. You know, you have that kind of, I don't know feeling. I've had that before, but I got a testimony for that feeling and that time that I thought that and I was feeling that. And I know that the same thing is true in this situation, and there will be another amazing testimony from what we're jumping into, what we're about to start. And everybody's not going to agree with what we decide to do. That's another thing. People don't understand, you know, they don't understand why we would choose to take on something that requires so much work, that is so far away from where we are right now. We're still in Georgia, but we're like an hour and a half away from where we are now, where the house is. And so people don't get it. They're like, why would you do that? But you know, I want to live an extraordinary life. I want my children to live an extraordinary life. I want everything that God has for me while I'm here on earth. And a lot of people say they want that, but aren't willing to make faith moves. And if you're not ready, if you're not prepared to make faith moves, you're going to, not to say that you won't have a good life, you just won't be extraordinary. You know, it won't be God's best for you. I want God's best for my life. I want God's best for my family's lives, you know, and he will give it to you in ways that you never imagined. And that is where we are right now, at the beginning of, I never would have imagined that this would be even available, possible. And so we're at the beginnings of that, in our, I can see that testimony. I can see it. I can see the end. But man, y'all, it's going to be a journey. It's going to be a journey. So God is in the middle of it. I just got finished telling David, stop worrying about it. We got to stop worrying about it. God got it. We just got finished getting a big blessing. God, and it was just, you know, I got the mail. I opened the mail. I was like, look, you know, they wasn't expecting that. It's just like God going, it's okay, y'all. I'll provide, and he will provide. I know he will. Just got to trust him. Trusting the Lord with all my heart, leaning not on my own understanding, because I don't understand a lot, and he knows that. So you can't lean on your own understanding. You got to trust him. In all your ways, acknowledge him, and he will direct your paths. Y'all, everything we need is in the book. It's just hard to live it sometimes. You got to get that word on the inside of you so you can bring it out in times when you need it. Declare it. Because that thing is rough.
Is that enough? Okay, I'm gonna floss your teeth now.
You still got to lay down, bud.
Floss?
Yeah.
Yes. And clean in between your teeth.
I'm between my teeth.
Yes.
Yeah. Let mommy see those teeth. Nice.